Well, what I see now is hardly any fish. I know a long time ago that I was raised out on the west side. And then the creeks, they were just thick Kootenay. Then we used to, the creek, the salmon used to come through there. Heck, they used to be big.
All 5 chief and band councils in the Ktunaxa-Kinbasket Nation and the 7 in the Okanagan Nation were contacted and asked if they would be willing to participate in the project. The following elders were chosen by the band administrative staff as directed by each band chief and council. Leo Williams, St. Mary's Indian Band. Wilfred Jacobs, Kootenay Indian Band. John Mahseelah, Tobacco Plains Indian Band. Ken Bryson, Osoyoos Indian Band. Dr. Mary Louie, Lower Similkameen Indian Band. Slim Allison, Upper Similkameen Indian Band. Clara Dubrett, Okanagan Indian Band. Within the video, the headings organized the topics of cultural impacts expressed by the elders.
Well, what I see now is hardly any fish. I know a long time ago that I was raised out on the west side. And then the creeks, they were just thick Kootenay. Then we used to, the creek, the salmon used to come through there. Heck, they used to be big. We used to get them with a gab hook. And that's no more.
Well, like that, and water, like you see all the guys going out into space, and they get to spend, I don't know how many thousands of dollars they spend going up there. Tom, you guys should, if all that money you guys spend, like, you should get a machine, a good machine, to purify that ocean, because someday you're going to need it. That's something I always use that Kootenay River as an example. There's 100 years ago you could go down there and drink it. Now, like drinking oil or something.
And the houses are getting to be closer to the river each year. They're getting to be more, whether it's the river, the lakes, the oceans, the creeks, it's affecting the water again. And they have access now to the waters up there that they can party, or they can throw their garbage out, or whatever they can. And they don't have respect for the land and what she has to offer. And she still cares because she still provides. So we need to start thinking about her and the Mother Earth and respecting her and what she has given us.
Well, I think the dams and, they're dying off. See, all these things are running in the lake and stuff like the sewer and stuff like that. And the stuff they use, the chemicals and everything is going in there and is killing the fish. So there's nothing to come up. So all this stuff that they're using now, it's affecting the environment very bad.
Now they're talking about drilling and where they put the wells, the oil wells or gas wells or the pipelines, the gas lines and the oil lines. Also affects the areas and the water as well. So it affects their birthing area, it affects their medicines that they have out there, it affects their watersheds that nourishes their medicines. And it affects their ceremony areas. So there's a lot of things we have to look at, and I've met with a few and tried to help them to understand the damages, not only the four-legged ones, but the little people as well. It bothers them too. And I think we need to start speaking out. I'm hoping to have more that they will come forward, that the water people or the four-legged animals has gone to connect with them and say, hey, we need help. We're not being respected anymore. We're not being honored anymore. We're not being looked at as something because we chose to be here for you. We chose to provide for you so that you're able to feed your family, that you're able to, what we partake that will help your family to regain their strength, and the medicines we take will help them as well. So there's a lot of things that I look at and try to help.
Hunting thing, you know, and there was a guy, you hunt all year round. I told him, yeah. He says, don't you know that's illegal? I told him, heck, what's that? He says, you know, I said, why not? Because, you know, nobody ever mentioned that. To me, it's illegal to hunt. I told him, heck, I used to hunt all year round. He tried to argue with me. It's illegal, and you're a poacher. So, well, sure. You might as well call me that. He said, poaching, at least you make use of what you get, but you get these truckers to do that, you can't use it.
Now they tell me them another pipeline's coming through. I don't know if it, no matter where it goes through our territory, and it has impact on our game, some ranges and access to some hills where the game is at, and maybe some medicine some of our naturals know about could be destroyed. And money isn't really the problem in these right-of-ways. It's the after effect it has on us. Once it's there and it's gone. And what was there before, if it was disturbed, will never come back to its natural deal.
When I was a kid, I went with my foster brother Abraham Louie. He took me up hunting. The reason why he took me is if he killed a deer, I could help him. We got away up on the south side of Baldy, and we looked. We seen the green forests. It was all there yet. It was all selective logging, all done with a crosscut. The only logging that was done there. And it looked green. It was just green, green, green. As far as you could see it, it just looked like it was just hills, nice and green. But then after the white people come, it's just like this pipeline. They didn't care what they'd done to it. That's all they done. That's all they could see was just like an ocean of money. The trees, when they went in the wind, you could see it. But that's all they could see was just the money. And after that, now you go up there, there's nothing. And I don't want this to happen to our reserve. But I guess that's progress.
But there is some good things happening. Getting back to the forest industry, reforestation. Maybe not too late to follow that system. And also this clear cutting. They're getting away from clear cutting, and they're starting the certification. The world is looking. They will not buy products that are not certified. And the certification process the recognition of Aboriginal title to the land and ownership of the resources is quite important in the minds of all my people.
And logging also damages the watersheds for the animals as well, the water people, because of the skidding, the cutting her hairs. What the trees are represents the Mother Earth. Her hair is being cut. So when it snows in the runoff, there's nothing to hold it back, so it goes into the river. So everything that they leave behind in the logging areas is washed to the water as well, or left on the ground. And when their medicine comes up, they can't partake of their medicines because it's damaged by the oil or the grease or the gas that's left, or diesel. So that affects them, and also affects the water people because their food is contaminated also from all of the pollution that's thrown in there. The boaters are the ones that has boats. They don't check their tanks, so the gas leaks or the oil leaks. Or if it's mixed, it still leaks and gets into the water, and the sewage that they may let out into the river also affects them.
Well, there's so many roads, like logging roads and roadways. It gives the public and all that better access to go through. Like when the pipeline first went through up on the upper land, and they had these bikers and everything using that, and then they were chasing the stock around, and then they were tearing up the lands. We had quite a time stopping that. Now they're starting all over again. The quads and everything is something we don't like, and nothing we can do about it.
Hydro, as far as hydro, I don't know how you can correct the flooded lands because of the dams.
That dam, there used to be lots of beaver down here where I said, and there's no more. They had to move because they cut all their food down, all the poplar trees, what they live on, they cut it all down.
But the dams that they put in has caused a lot of discomfort for the water people. It's hard for them to get to where they're going, to complete what they have to do. And with the power poles going through, also causes a lot of disturbance for the water, and as well as for the land around us, as well as the feeding areas for the wild animals, the deer, the moose, the elk, the bear, and the little animals. When they go to the water to partake of the water is polluted from the mines. When the mines open their gates, or whatever it is that they put in there, a few years this water at certain times became milky, and it's from the mine up Princeton way. So it does affect the water, and it does affect the animals.
The pipeline comes through. We still have a lot of concerns that weren't met, like for instance this knapweed. When the pipeline went through lower and upper Similkameen, that started coming, and at that time I kept mentioning it and nobody do anything, and now it's all over. And that takes a lot of good grass away from where you used to be able to have a good pasture. Now there's nothing but knapweeds.
Well, I thought, okay, but whilst we were there by the road, a truck came along, and it had two cows in the truck. And we were talking about it, and the old man said, you know, in your life, see this road here, lot of little rocks. Someday you'll see this highway right here. It'll be smooth like a floor in a house.
Gathering of, well, there's, see, like I was talking about Chokeshires, how they made it, and well, Saskatoon we call it Skumo, how they make it. It's a lost art, see, very few. And then there's some roots, like, let's say, bitter roots. I used to pick them years ago, and they're down here on the flat. And they had that too. You mix it with very different, cook it with it. That served the purpose from going hungry. And a lot of them, they fix it so that, it was tradition food, I guess, is what you call it.
And I brought the word sustainability to the Elders' Council. And when explained to them what the white man meant by sustainability, and when I asked them what is the Ktunaxa definition of sustainability, they thought it over and come up with the answer: take what you need and not what you want.
Oh, they tell me there not a pipeline's coming through. I don't know if it, no matter where it goes through our territory, and it has impact on our game, some ranges and access to some hills where the game is at, and maybe some medicine, some of our natural snowboards could be destroyed.
Like when I was younger, we always had a big cellar. Always growed our own carrots, onions, and everything, and we'd fill the cellar up. I mean, all the old people out there, they all had root cellars, and we never go hungry because we grow big gardens and we put them away. Now, I don't see nobody doing that.
That's what we're up against when we're talking about the governments at large. They assume ownership of all the resources. And just in recent times, they go through the motions of consultation. And the consultation, to me, is something like they let the people know what they're going to do when they had already planned they were going to do it anyway. They just go through the formalities for consultation. Consultation isn't practiced the way it should be. We make any recommendations or any of our input is just forgotten. It's shoved aside. That's what really gets me about industry. The bad things about industry.
A lot of people now that run that land wants me to go by their rules, the laws they make. Those laws are man-made. I live by the rules of my Creator. This land was the richest land in the world back in 1492. Today, the government that's running it is going broke because they live by their own rule. The rules, man-made, cannot survive with the land. Someday, the real rules, the constitution of a man will take over again.
I still don't care. When I'm home by myself, I never turn the TV on. Heck with it. I mean, that's something that's taken over lots of young kids. They watch too much of it. You hear the language they have. I don't teach them that. They get it from them.
Employment is pretty near impossible in any reserve. We have most of our people employed, partly employed, and some just starting. And hopefully you can get off the ground there. Some other reserves I look at now. Looks pretty grim for them. Like they're overpopulated and not enough land and no unemployment makes it. Then when they go out and work, they just can't find work nowhere.
Destroying the animals. But, you know, that's there, nothing we can do about it.
My hope, my aspirations of seeing industry pooling their technology, which they're very rich in technology, academically and spiritually, to combine all these efforts to create a better future for future generations. I ask that it does happen. Maybe not in my lifetime, but for the future generations. And not only First Nations, but for the whole world, for all nations.
If they're planning something, they should get the First Nation people, the elders from the reserves involved that knows their teachings and knows their walk and how important everything is to us. The air, the land, the trees, the roots, the four-legged ones, the winged ones. Even the winged ones are being affected by all of this too. So my long term is that the people will start respecting and honoring what is there for them and take care of it in a good way.
Even now we have racism, which is, I think, the main causes for a lot of dropouts from the school. Even racism happens at any age. And they asked me what I could do about racism, and I told the school board the only thing you can be able to do something about it, you start at home, not in schools. It stems out from home, I think, and that's...
Yeah. Long ways from that school over there to now. It's something that you cannot start to think what happened. It's one life leading into another. To me, as I'm standing here, it's the third stage of my life. The first 7 years of my life, I lived in a teepee. 7 years, and then I came to Syilx over here and lived a different life. The people that were in there when I went in wanted to take my language away from me. She wanted me to forget my language. But I was stubborn. I look at the language of a person as the foundation of a man. You learn your language when you were a child, you keep it. That's a foundation of a man. Without a language, where do you come from?
Well, I think in 20 years, like where the pipelines are all going and everything, I don't think they're going to be, you know, the gas and everything isn't going to be used like now. I think people can't afford it back then, and they're going back to wood. Because right now, a lot of them can't afford it because it's just going to go sky high, and we're going to have to go back to our wood. And when we go back to wood, where are we going to get our wood? There were no trees. So it's going to be pretty rough. It comes to an end, so we got to figure out another way to survive.
We'll be a lot better off when men understand each other and agree to live under one law, under one rule. That day, when and if it comes, I think we'll all enjoy it.